What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about if you should transfer schools. So transferring schools is one of those common questions that we get asked. We're going to talk about when you shouldn't transfer schools, when you probably should transfer schools, and everything that you need to know about the transfer process at a high school level. But also, fellas, if you need to get faster, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get access to 100+ speed and agility drills. We break down everything, place it into categories, what you guys need to do to get more explosive, quicker, faster, everything to become a better athlete, because that could help you out at any position of the game. So again, fellas, check out that very first link in the description below if you'd like to get faster. Let's get into this video. So the first thing I want to talk about is if you are like an underclassman, let's say you're a freshman, sophomore, in some cases maybe even a junior, and you're sitting behind somebody, right? So like, let's use the example of like, let's say you're a quarterback, and let's say there's a senior who's starting, you're a sophomore, and you are the second team guy, and you're wondering if you should transfer, right? So I honestly think in that situation, and let's talk about college football, honestly, right? So in college football, they want to recruit the best possible players, obviously. If you're one of the best players, you're going to play college football. Fact. 100% fact. If you can showcase that on the field, not in 7-on-7, not in camps, I'm talking when you get the pads on and you get an opportunity and you can showcase that you are one of the top tier players in the country or top tier players in your area, whatever your goals may be. Maybe your goal is just to play college football. Maybe it's to play at the D1 level, whatever it is. If that is your goal, and you can showcase that on film, you're going to play at the next level, regardless. Even with 1 year of film, if you are that good, you were going to be able to play at the next level. Now, are there certain situations that work against guys? Absolutely. You go to a small town school, not too many people know about you, you don't get a lot of college coaches in, you're probably going to have a big body of work. But at the end of the day, guys, you just need one school to take a chance on you, right? So I recommend having only 1 year of varsity time is extremely tough. That's a tough situation to be in to be able to play at the next level. Not to say it's impossible. 2 years is plenty. 3 years is fantastic. But if you're a sophomore at a big time program sitting behind a senior, 2 years is plenty of film, guys. And guess what's going to happen? You're the backup quarterback. You get to sit and learn the offense, number one, compete with that guy every single day, and you will get in the game. There will be a point where you are blowing out a team, or maybe you're getting blown out and you get some time, and you might put together some film, send it out to some college coaches, and they might take a little bit of interest, right? You might start building relationships with guys. You might not get an offer right off the bat, but you might build some relationships. So when you do start as a junior, your coaching staff loves you because you stuck it out. They want to build an offense around you, and you might actually be able to play. So if that's the situation that you're sitting in, I don't think you should transfer. Now listen, if there's a school, equal competition, that maybe you could transfer to and play right away, fine. I mean, I think the more high school film you have, the better. I'm not going to tell you don't do that, but I'm just going to tell you that you better have a guarantee that when you go to that school, you are playing. And people will say, well, there's no guarantees. That's what coaches always say. Well, we're going to pick the best guy. We all know that there are guarantees with the transfer process. You transfer to a school, you're not going just winging a prayer. I hope I make it. You know, you've talked to the coaches. They've told you that you're probably going to start, right? So if you're going to transfer, just know that. But if you're sitting behind somebody and you're a younger underclassman, then yeah, man, I think you should just wait it out. Face the music, compete, learn the offense for a year, and buy into that program. That's just me. Now, other situations. If you're a junior sitting behind a guy, and let's say the guy's like a big-time offer guy, and you think you're also a Division I college player or just even a college player, you need film. If you're sitting behind a guy's like a 4-star, 5-star guy, and you're only going to be, it looks like you're probably only going to be getting 1 year of film, I think that might be grounds to transfer. But like, guys, you know, like, you're going to face competition everywhere you go. You know what it's like in college? They bring freaking dudes in every single year who are trained killers, dude. Like, they are so freaking talented every single recruiting class. So your job is not guaranteed in college. You are going to have to compete every single day that you are in college. So if you're running from competition, I think that's wrong, because wherever you run to, that competition is going to find a way to find you. It is a test. You're going through that for a reason. Now, don't get me wrong. There are situations for it, and we're going to discuss that throughout this video. But just know that. Know that you have a chance with 2 years of film. With 1 year of film, you have a chance. Not the greatest. You still have a chance, but not the greatest chance. You still obviously have a chance. Now, here's the thing. I know a lot of you guys are probably receivers watching this, or, you know, maybe you got some linemen watching this, for example. If you're in any position where there's more than one guy or maybe two guys at your spot, I don't think you should transfer, unless it's to a higher level of competition, because I'm all about challenging yourself, right? So like, if you're at a small school and you feel like you want to play at a bigger school, you want to challenge yourself, go to a big private school that plays like 6A, 5A ball, Division I ball, if you're in like California, by all means go for it, right? You know what? I want you to play the best, highest possible level and challenge yourself the best way you can. But if you're already at a high level and let's say you're not playing and you're a receiver, there are 4 spots on the field usually that you could play at. Outside, outside, slot, slot. 4 spots that you could play at. So if you can't find a way to play at all 4 of those spots, you might have to be really honest with yourself and think, okay, what am I doing that is not getting me on the field? Am I being a good teammate? Am I showing up to everything? Am I doing all the little things correctly? Am I lifting hard? That's what you got to start asking yourself. Because if you're checking off all those boxes and you're not playing in one of those 4 spots, there might be something wrong. They might be working against you. They might have it out for you, as quote unquote people say. There might be some politics going on. But guys, like, you have to be honest with yourself with this transfer process, because I've seen it so many times. Like, I used to train a guy, he had been to 5 schools in 2 years. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely insane. And people will always say, like, oh, well, Nick Saban said he doesn't want people who transfer schools because it shows that they're not mentally tough. And, you know, like, you could transfer once, maybe twice. Like, if you're a good football player, they're not going to care. They just want you to come to their college. 5 times is excessive as hell. And you know why he transferred 5 times? Because he rushed into every single decision that he made. So, went to a school, and guess what he wasn't doing? Summer workouts come around. And he was a great quarterback. Like, I'm talking like could spin the hell out of the ball. Like a really, really good quarterback, good size, good frame, all this. Goes to a school, freshman, he plays freshman ball, he's doing good, fine. Going into his sophomore year, he has a chance to compete on varsity. Guess what he was doing? He was missing off-season lifting to go train with some speed coach. No affiliation to the school. Guy wasn't on the staff. Guy was probably a good speed coach, but he was missing practice. So when it comes down to who are they going to pick, the guy who's been there every single day in the offseason or a guy who has only shown up when it's mandatory, they're going to go with the guy who's been there every single day. He's a better teammate. He's there for the guys that are on the team. So are you showing up every day? Now, another reason why he was quick to transfer out of there, went to another school and rushed the decision. The program wasn't that great. Coaching staff was not what they lived up to be. So he rushed into that program, right? What happens? Hates it, unhappy. Coaches are dicks, for lack of a better term. So he leaves again, goes to a school that promises him a whole bunch, but he's not going to play at that school. They ever had a guy who's starting there for 3 years. So he rushes into that transfer, goes in thinking he's going to compete, when the school just wanted his money because it was a private school. Rushed into that decision, didn't look at the depth chart, didn't have a guarantee that he was going to play. Transfers out of that school, goes to another school. Same idea. When you're not a good teammate and you're not doing the research, you're not looking into the process, you're going to be jumping ship every single place that you go if you run from that competition, you run from a certain situation, or not taking care of what you need to do. And that's a quarterback. That's not a receiver. So a receiver, imagine if you take care of what you need to do, you have the skills, they're going to find a spot for you. Know everybody's spot on the field so you actually get that opportunity to play. Now, one thing I'll leave you with this type of video is that when it is time to go, you got to know when it's time to go. You know what I mean? So like, let's say, for example, junior, sophomore, they bring in a freshman, they bring in a sophomore who's real good, and they're putting him over you, and it doesn't look good, like you're going to be able to play, and you know, you're doing everything right, you're doing the little things right, you're talented, maybe just the guy's just better than you, maybe that's just where he is in his career, but you need to get play time somewhere. I think it might be time to go. Now, listen, if you feel like a coach really has it out for you and you're being honest with yourself, you're doing all the right things, I really honestly think like you should go somewhere where you are like, you know, wanted and appreciated and your work ethic is appreciated. I don't like the whole just jump and transfer because the coach yelled at me or the coach was treating me unfairly when you're not being honest with yourself. But you got to know when it's time. And if you don't see a future at that school, honestly, you know you're a good football player. Maybe they just got a guy who's just a little bit better than you. You're doing all the little things right, but you can't seem to get ahead. I recommend leaving. But honestly, guys, like I told you, in college, you will have to compete every single day. So if you're a receiver, if you got multiple spots on the field that you could play at and you just want to get on the field, don't jump ship. Face the competition. You will learn a lot about yourself and you will get a whole hell of a lot better. All right, fellas, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. Always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like to get 100+ speed and agility drills, everything that you could do to make yourself faster, more explosive, quicker athlete, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that. I'll see you guys next time.